Hey guys, Omar here with another one, and today it's all going to be about how to save battery on your truly wireless earphone. I'm going to be using my Samsung Gear IconX, the 2018 edition, but these tips will work for pretty much any wireless earphones out there. Now, sometimes manufacturers issue software updates and make the product more efficient in terms of battery use, and your wireless earphones are no different. So making sure that your software is up to date will help to actually save battery in the long run. One of the biggest things to save battery is your volume at which you listen to music or audio at. The higher the volume, the more the speaker needs to work to give you that extra sound, which means the more battery it's using. So if you turn down the volume maybe 50% or just a little bit, it will actually save battery in the long run if you're trying to conserve it. Another way to save battery on earphones is to turn off any sort of notifications that come up. And these are basic ones that tell you, you got a text message or there's a phone call or whatever. And essentially what happens here is that whenever there's some sort of notification, it then pushes the alert to your earphones. Your earphones then need to react, use battery, and tell you that you got a text message or whatever. So if you stop that from happening, you actually save battery. So the Gear IconXs have something called a exercise coach, and what happens here is that when you're running or when you're doing exercise, it can notice what type of exercises you're doing. For example, running, walking, things like that. When this happens, the earphones will coach you. So for example, if you're running, it will say speed up to reach X amount of kilometers per hour, or when you've reached, I don't know, 1 kilometer or 0.5, something like that, it'll say 0.5 kilometers reached. So if you turn these off, or at the very least turn them down so they don't give you the notifications more frequently, then that can actually conserve battery as well. So the IconXs have something called ambient sound. Now what this does is, because there's a microphone inside of the earphone, it listens to sound which is around you, then it pumps it through your earphones so you can hear it, so you don't have to take your earphones out when you're at, for example, traffic lights or whatever the situation is. You need to hear outside, and it's just annoying when you have to take your earphones out. So ambient sound allows you to hear your surroundings and be a lot safer. Now, the issue with this is when it comes to conserving battery, the microphone is in use, and also it's pumping your audio from around you outside and pumping it inside of your earphone. So it sounds like a recording that you listen to, but it's all real time. Now, if you turn this off, this will conserve your battery because A, your microphone isn't being used, and B, it's not pumping it through your earphones. So there's like the speaker and the microphone that's not being used, and then you conserve battery that way as well. So one of the other things that the IconXs do have is readout menus. What this means is that you tap and hold the earphone, and then it starts to read out the menu. And then when it comes on the setting, the option that you need, you just let go, and then it selects it. So that's a way to select options without actually looking at your phone. If you have this on, obviously it's going to use more battery because you're going to be tapping and it's going to be telling you what menus they are. So if you turn this off, that will actually conserve battery for you as well. So the last tip I want to give you is to use your phone instead of your earphones to make changes when you listen to music. For example, with my earphones, if the phone is in the pocket, it's more convenient just to tap and change tracks. But when you tap, it essentially is using more battery. And what happens here is that because it's using more battery, your battery will last a little bit less than what it would normally do. Instead, if you take your phone out and change the track that way, it will use less battery because you're not using the battery on your earphones, and then you extend it a little bit longer. Now we're talking about small amounts here, not a lot, but it can make a big difference if you're on a long journey and you want to conserve as much battery as possible. So that was just some tips that I use to conserve battery. Do like the video and subscribe and share. Comment down below on how you conserve battery, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.